It's a very good Friday, or is it a plain traditional Good Friday? Whatever your taste, we salute you for making Jamaica Magazine part of your holiday plans. This half-hour package has something for everyone. There's Easter traditions and...
Money comes from the mint. You do not get interest in your piggy bank, you get interest in the bank.
Allow these grown-up minds to connect you to the world of money. Plus...
we learned from some basic English and maths.
It teach me like to hold a hammer the right way.
The Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP, strikes again. Don't miss this heartwarming tale about the real-life benefits of a partnership with two other entities. But first, we pause to pay tribute to the Creator, as celebrated by Christians. Easter is one of the most holy observances on the Christian calendar, and especially on Good Friday, persons do various things to mark the occasion. We call them Easter traditions.
The flowers are in full bloom, some only at this time of year. A reminder to many of the new and bountiful life Jesus Christ gave to all in dying on the cross for the sins of mankind, and also of the innocence, purity, and love of Jesus Christ. We are at that time of year once again, when many reaffirm their faith, and for others, especially in the colder parts of the world, it's a celebration of the beginning of spring, or for some, just a time to get away with the family. Since the 2nd century, Easter has been a holy celebration, making it the oldest Christian observance after Sabbath. And unlike Christmas, it has been celebrated without interruption since New Testament times. However, as with most Christian holidays, Easter has been secularized, taking on a commercial face. This non-religious side of Easter is, however, not new, as it is believed Easter was in fact originally a pagan festival. The ancient Anglo-Saxons celebrated the return of spring with a huge festival accompanied by much revelry and feasting, commemorating their goddess of offspring and springtime, Easter, also known as Ostara. It would have been suicide for these early Christians to celebrate their holy days with observances that did not coincide with celebrations that already existed. To save lives, missionaries spread their religious message slowly by allowing people to continue with the pagan feast, but to do so in a Christian manner. So as more converts were slowly won over, it was changed to a Christian celebration. The early name Easter or Ostara was eventually changed to its modern spelling Easter. Good Friday, Christians here and in other parts of the world reflect on the cruel death of Jesus Christ on the cross. There are few explanations why the holiday is known as Good Friday, since it commemorates the crucifixion of Jesus. Some scholars believe that good is a corruption of the word gods, while others speculate that good was used to denote holy. In Eastern Orthodox churches, the observance is known as Great Friday. Today in Jamaica and many other parts of the world, it is a day of solemn prayer, and for many, the final day of fasting for the Lenten season, which is a 46-day period just before Easter Sunday. Apart from the religious observations of Easter, the season has been associated with baked goods, eggs and Easter bunnies, and much more. Here in Jamaica, for many, Easter would not be the same without spiced bun and cheese. Whether homemade or purchased, bun and cheese is served in just about every home. But how did this practice of eating buns at Easter come about? Our local buns are an adaptation of hot cross buns, which are served in many parts of the world and had their origin in England. Centuries ago, hot cross buns were made and eaten every Good Friday and were thought to have miraculous curative powers. On the first day of Lent and the 6 weeks that follow, many bakeries and homes baked hot cross buns. We all agree that religious services and other Easter celebrations vary throughout regions of the world and even from country to country. Despite this, there is a binding thread of thought. Easter is a time of new beginnings, joy, a time for reflection, repentance, and sharing of love.
Take me to the King. Don't have much to bring. My heart's torn to pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone.
Equality, equal rights and justice for women and men in all society. Spread the word to the nation. Promoting equality. Think we fear star. Equal value, equal rights. Know it, believe it, live it. It's time for us to get it right. Equal rights and justice
For our men.
and women. Equality.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund
For gender equality.
What are we going to do today? Change decimal to percentage. What are we going to do? Change decimal to percentage.
Conversions in that CSJP story were not limited to decimals. Lives have also been transformed. You'll get the full info later in the magazine. But first, let's see how knowledge of money and its usage are changing the way two young children relate to the subject matter.
Ask a child where money comes from and you'll get all kinds of answers.
Trees, Mommy's purse, Daddy's pocket.
Okay, let's try to find the correct response.
Money comes from the mint. A mint is where people make money to give to other people.
Adults earn money by working for other people or setting up their own businesses. When they get that money, it may be placed in a bank account. Then,
They withdraw money from the ATM.
that money is called
a salary. They use it to pay their bills, they use it to buy food for the family. They use it to make sure that everybody has what they need.
Now mom and dad have to budget their money. You can do that too.
A budget is how you plan to spend money and how you earn it and how the money that you earn and spend.
You create a budget by setting out things to say that, all right, I need this stuff and I don't need that stuff. So I will buy this stuff that I really need, and that's how you create a budget.
Do you guys budget? You do? What do you budget? What type of expenses do you possibly have to budget for? Tell me.
For example, since I get my allowance every week, I budget it. Like I have some for save, I have 3 envelopes, one for save, one for spend, and one for give.
Right.
I put the give in, I put some, I say for example, I have $300. I get $300, so I put $100 in give, $100 in spend, and $100 in save. And that's how I budget my money. So when I want to buy something, I look in my spend box to see if I have enough money. And if it's going to clear me out, I know I'm not going to spend it.
Okay.
And for give, I would give it to churches or the Salvation Army. Mommy gives me money to spend for my spend, like for food and other costs. And I budget how much money I'm going to spend for how much water I need to buy, how much food and what food I'm going to eat, and what exact restaurant.
What about you, Tahi? Do you budget?
Yes, I would budget every day, and every time if I want to go to a movie, I would budget it, what I would want to spend.
Now, what values we teach our children is up to the household they're raised in.
We would like budget everything we do. If like mom asks me what do I want, I would say I would want nachos, and she would withdraw some money, like she would have it saved and she would give me the money. All right, she would be like, all right, this is your allowance, you use this, you buy what you want, and I buy what I want.
Okay, but you can't have everything. You have to choose what you want.
Yes, and if I have change, I save it.
How does the government get money?
They trade with other countries, and they get money by selling or produce like bauxite and those that they used to make aluminum. And they have tourism that they use to invite tourists over to Jamaica, but they have to spend their foreign exchange.
Foreign exchange is money from other countries like Canadian or US dollars or the pound sterling.
So apart from tourism and bauxite and getting foreign exchange, Tahid, which other way does the government get money?
Taxes.
Right. You have any example of any tax?
GCT, environmental taxes, educational taxes.
Where do you pay GCT normally?
In a store.
All right, so you maybe go to like the supermarket or so and you pay the GCT.
Government spends money to improve the country, to fix roads, care for the sick, run schools, and a number of other things.
What's the difference between a piggy bank and an actual bank?
You do not get interest in your piggy bank, you get interest in the bank.
Right.
And interest is something they put onto your money so it can get larger.
The actual bank and the piggy bank. The piggy bank now, you can't actually grow any money from it, but the bank, it adds money on it gradually.
Children, this money thing isn't so hard to understand after all, don't it? Talk to an adult about it and read books that will carefully explain the world of money.
The call to action is for parents to start considering seriously, how can I practice money management in my own life for the sake of my child getting it right? And from that point on, the reinforcement comes, the second thing is to reinforce it with the child. Simply, when you go to the grocery store, one of the ways in which you can start is to take a simple budget with you and show your child that you live within your means.
We have just been reminded that money, no matter how small it is very, very important. Youngsters, I suggest that you use part of the Easter break to better decide how to spend that lunch money or allowance. Mommy, daddy, auntie, uncle, and even mama and papa work very hard to make sure you're comfortable. Do the noodle dance and follow the advice in Disney's cartoon PB&J Otter. There's an answer you can find. Use your noodle, use your mind. Stop buying sweets and try to save even $20 a day. Older folk, there's also a lesson for us. We too can manage our finances a little better. And let's remember the taxes while we're at it. After all, government needs the money to efficiently run the country. Together as children and adults, we can stretch the dollar to take care of our needs by making smart decisions and spending wisely.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the idling. You think I saw? We reach our the edging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
A thorough knowledge of money, its scarcity and importance were at the forefront of government's plans when members of the cabinet crafted the 2014-2015 budget. Just yesterday, the finance minister gave an update on Jamaica's economy and presented the way forward. Part of that involves ensuring that the country is safe. Let's now take a look at the programs and allocations for the Ministry of National Security in the 2014-2015 budget.
The Ministry of National Security was given about $50.4 billion to spend in the 2014-2015 financial year when the estimates of expenditure or budget was tabled in Parliament on April 3. That figure will take into account the operations of the ministry itself, as well as agencies it supervises, including the Jamaica Defense Force, Jamaica Constabulary Force, Department of Correctional Services, and the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA. Every project or policy to be pursued has the ultimate goal of facilitating the maintenance of law and order, protecting Jamaica against internal and external threats, and punishing and rehabilitating offenders. Here's a breakdown of the allocations to some of the major projects this year. The JDF will get about $13.5 billion to spend on recurrent expenditure. That's money set aside for housekeeping matters like wages and salaries. The force will earn about $140 million of that amount on its own from things like flights and charges made to officers who reside at Up Park Camp. In terms of capital expenditure, government will provide about $783 million to purchase vehicles and another $150 million to overhaul an aircraft. Money is also set aside to continue the construction of the Lathbury Barracks at Up Park Camp to include accommodation, office and storage facilities. The National Housing Trust is funding the project, which should be completed in March 2017. Up to February this year, all designs were completed and construction had started on 2 buildings. For the JCF, the government has set aside about $464 million to purchase telecommunications equipment. Between April and December 2014, a wireless network will be installed and routine maintenance conducted. $167.2 million has also been set aside to expand the automated palm and fingerprint identification systems. The Department for International Development will provide $60 million to fund the JCF's reform program, which provides support to crime fighting. Whistleblowers are not left out, as the Witness Support Program will get about $190.2 million to spend. The Department of Correctional Services will see an improvement in its infrastructure during this financial year. Government will provide about $100 million to repair the St. Catherine Adult Correctional Center and another $100 million to construct a building to house female inmates currently kept at the Fort Augusta Adult Correctional Center. The Rehabilitation and Reintegration of Local Offenders and Deported Persons program, which commenced in November 2008, will continue until March 2015. The British Foreign and Commonwealth Office will provide $14 million for the project. External support will also help to finance the third phase of the Citizen Security and Justice Program, CSJP. Phase 3 begins in June 2014 and ends May 2019. For this financial year, $939 million has been allocated for the program, which is being funded by the government as well as 3 foreign agencies. Under CSJP 3, 500 participants will receive vocational skills training and another 300 will benefit from internship opportunities. CSJP will also engage a consultant to develop a manual to train parents, conduct 7 parenting education workshops and 4 business development training workshops. The program targets unattached youth in violence-prone communities to develop their employability and life skills. For the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, it will maintain its Model B status and earn money for the majority of its expenses. $1.5 billion has been budgeted for recurrent expenditure, but PICA will earn $1.2 billion of that amount. The Ministry of National Security on a mission in the 2014-2015 financial year to maintain law and order in Jamaica.
But when I call on Jesus, all things are possible. I can mount on wings like eagles and soar. When I call on Jesus, mountains are gonna fall.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite.
Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
We as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together
as one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to
live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
If you were listening carefully to the previous feature, you would have realized that $900 million has been allocated to fund the third phase of CSJP. The multifaceted program has been changing the lives of participants from black and white into living, glorious Technicolor. Here's their story.
Instead, I'm a little woman, walk up and down. I can't just know, say, yeah, wake up in the morning, I gone at school, gone do something.
We learned from some basic English and maths.
It's a wonderful experience dealing with the student from the inner city.
Positive reviews from participants in a program to boost literacy, numeracy, and vocational skills. It's part of efforts to achieve strategic priority number 4 on government's agenda, human capital development, building the capacity of individuals so they can effectively contribute to the nation's growth. The Ministry of National Security through the Citizen Security and the Justice Program CSJP has been working with non-government organization Operation Friendship as well as the Jamaica Foundation for Lifelong Learning JFLL to offer remedial training to persons in vulnerable communities. CSJP, which targets unattached youth in volatile communities, recruits the youngsters. Operation Friendship facilitates the training at its institution, and JFLL provides the math and English teachers.
To deliver a 10-month pre-vocational program, which was aimed at 1, improving literacy levels, as well as their social skills with minimal exposure to general construction.
Using aspects of the constant practicing teaching method, classwork, assignments, tests, and projects, students were prepared for the Hard Trust entrance exam. If successful, they would move on to CSJP's vocational program, which provides advanced skills training at Hard Trust NTA.
Okay, today we're going to be talking about synonyms. Have you ever heard the word synonyms before?
Kind and generous.
Vacant, empty.
Messy and dirty.
You had to work from the basic letter sounds and stuff onto the other areas of literacy. This was my first time teaching adults, so the transition was a bit difficult, but I mean, I got into it. The guys made me feel comfortable, and so it has been good.
Class, what are we going to do today?
Change decimal to percentage.
What are we going to do?
Change decimal to percentage.
It's fun when teacher teach about percentage and them thing and teach in a little tricky way for do it.
Students are interested in learning, right, and they try their best to maintain discipline and stuff like that.
And Mr. White is a living testament to what can be achieved if one is disciplined. Having been a participant in the CSJP, he completed his studies in primary education at the Jamaica University and is now empowering other young people. Administrators of the CSJP's pre-vocational training program worked tirelessly to educate and train the youngsters as they acted on strategic priority number 4 on government's list.
Many of them felt very stigmatized, and many of them had a low self-esteem, which resulted from the fact that they were unable to read at levels that they should.
But after intense work, a shocking revelation. 22 of the 25 students who took the Hard Trust entrance exams were successful, paving the way for them to move on to higher heights.
I feel overwhelmed. I say yes. I achieve what I come for. That was the aim, to pass the test. And I say yes, I did it.
I was school from 2005, and I doesn't take up a book at home. And this program made me take up book and show interest of doing some work.
I think the success can be attributed to the motivation, to the quality of the instructors that we had, to the fact that the youngsters had to do the work which was necessary. We were able to come up with a new design for the syllabus, which really sort of focused on what had to be done in order to get them through the exams.
We are going to a next level, construction, getting a skill.
But the participants already have a rudimentary understanding of general construction, which will give them an edge when they begin CSJP's vocational program, Advanced Skills Training at Hartrust NTA.
It teach me like to hold the hammer the right way.
You don't hold the hammer down in the neck, you hold the hammer at the end and you swing your wrists.
Well, my mindset is to inform other young men outside, in and outside the community, just to show that we get off the road and can come down at Operation Friendship and get it further.
I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it, I'm the world's greatest.
To celebrate the achievement of the youngsters, a graduation ceremony was held at the offices of the JFLL. The results of a survey, the Learner Performance Feedback, indicated that the program did much more than help participants pass the Hartrust entrance exam.
87% indicated that their team building skills have improved. Excellent. 91%, want to listen to this, 91% indicated that their conflict management skills have improved.
I'm that star up in the sky, I'm that mountain peak up high. Hey, I made it.
You can't really look at persons from the inner city and say they're not worth it or they can't make it. If you as a teacher just do what you have to do, teach them, love them, just talk to them about reality and encourage them.
Come to Operation Friendship. We are willing, we are able, we have the manpower, we have the space, and we have the motivation to help wherever it is possible.
And I think that many of them see it now as a launching pad for greater things to do with their future.
So CSJP, Operation Friendship, and JFLL have been working together to achieve government's strategic priority of human capital development, improving numeracy and literacy levels of unattached youth while developing their social and vocational skills, building their capacity to make them employable and marketable so they can contribute to national development.
I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope when my back's against the wall.
There'll be a better tomorrow. 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 There'll be a day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow.
Lord, I give you my heart, give you my soul. Live for you, I live for you. Every breath that I take, every moment.
We've exhausted the time available for this Friday's edition of Jamaica Magazine. But if you're tech savvy, visit our website, jis.gov.jm for more useful information, and follow us on Twitter at JIS News. Also, feel free to share your thoughts. Email us at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. I'm Adrian Atkinson. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, have fun this holiday season, but be smart, be wise, stay away from bad impulsive decisions, and please be safe. See you tomorrow.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.